Hi everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! I'm very sorry I missed my tier list yesterday. I will make it up by having more tier lists throughout the week. There are a few I actually want to do, and today I want to rank the Pokemon based on how fun they are to play, or which Pokemon is the most funner Pokemon inside the game. Let me take you on over to that tier list. Out of bullets. Gling, 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 gling. Loaded them wrong. Now, something that you might disagree with, but I think a lot of these Pokemon are really fun to play. I hate to rain on anyone's parade who wants me to get in here and really rip some of these Pokemon apart, but I like playing most every Pokemon in this game, and I've got to admit, one of my favorite things about Pokemon Unite is that I think they have made each Pokemon really fun to pick up and play. When you're doing what you're supposed to do with these Pokemon, I think it's a really great time. Let's talk about our categories for this video. Soup's fun, which is the S tier. Attaboy, these are fun, A tier. B tier. Still got the B tier, and the C tier could be funner tier, and I looked it up. It turns out funner is in fact not a word. Dangerous for me to put it on this list, but I'm gonna put it here anyway. All right, where to begin? Let's start with someone that's soup's fun. One of my favorite Pokemon to play. You know what, I'll just start off right away. Talonflame. I think Talonflame is one of the most fun Pokemon to play in the entire game. The mobility you have, the your presence on the map, the amount of damage you output in single attacks, how you steal with your fly, or even if you're using Brave Bird, you output tons and tons of damage. Talonflame's Unite, now that it has a really low cooldown, you pair that with a Buddy Barrier, you're just pushing enemies around the map. You can set up some incredible scores and some incredible team fight situations for your team. I think Talon is just such an incredibly fun Pokemon to play. If you're looking for a speedster and you don't have one yet, I think Talon is an excellent choice. But that to be, you know what, to be fair, a lot of the speedsters are fun. Let me hit another speedster here. Let's talk about Absol. Absol, I think, is a really fun Pokemon to play, not only in jungle, but also I think it works really, really well in lane. It's another Pokemon that I think really excels when you get a Buddy Barrier on it, because once you have a Buddy Barrier and you have your Unite move, you're able to set up fights where Talon is around long enough to sort of outplay some of your opponents. One of the unfortunate things about the speedsters sometimes is that they don't have enough health or defense to stay in the fight long enough, but with a Buddy Barrier and some levels on you, I think you can do really, really well with Absol. I would put this into the attaboy, these are fun tier. I think it's a really, really solid pick. Let's keep going through the speedsters here. Honestly, they're super fun to play. Gengar. Gengar is another one I would put in the attaboy, these are fun tier. So I recognize that Gengar might not be one of the best Pokemon inside Pokemon Unite, and it has issues late game. One of its biggest issues is it just deals out single target damage. So if you're in kind of that late game fight, you're not as useful as many other Pokemon that can stay around long enough to deal damage to the entire team. It's one of the big issues with all speedsters, but I think Gengar suffers from this the most. It also doesn't really have good mobility compared to any of the others. Absol has a dash, Zera has a dash, Talon has a dash and a fly, and Gengar really can only, I mean, I guess you could use Hex, right, as a bit of a dash. Just in general, I think that's one of its biggest issues. That being said, outside of its viability, deleting people with a Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, boosted attack, Dream Eater, boosted attack, Shadow Ball, like that little combo right there is super fun. A super fun Pokemon to play. Zeraora. Zeraora is just incredible. I mean, Zeraora is just such a good Pokemon. It doesn't reach the heights of Talonflame for me, but I do think it's amazing. It's definitely up here in the A tier. All the speedsters are so satisfying to play. Zeraora has multiple builds that are satisfying. Wild Charge, when you juke a Hyper Beam or something like that with a Wild Charge, it's just, it's so beautiful. Zeraora is such a fun one to play. I'm not even sure I need to rank these, but these are all super fun Pokemon to play. Let's see here. Let's head over into our defenders, and I'll start on a positive foot. Okay. I like this game. The defenders are all really good. I'm going to start off with a top tier fun one to play, which is Greedon. Greedon's nuts. Greedon lives forever. Greedon goes everywhere on the map. You can see, you know, some of my criteria for how much fun I have is really just how much chaos you can put out as one character. So Greedon is everywhere. He is a problem. You have to do something about Greedon. You are like, oh, why is this Pokemon here? Why is he doing this? Why is he running to that goal? Oh, he's taking all this farm now. Now he's jungle invading. And then you try to KO it, and you just have to go, let it go. Just let it run away, because I can't KO this Pokemon. It is such a fun Pokemon to play. I love playing Greedon. I love both builds. I didn't used to, but now I love both builds for Greedon. Whether you're using Bullet Seed or you're using Belch, if you have Covet or Stuffed Cheeks, I think both are really fun. I don't know how viable Belch Covet is right now, but I bet you I could take it into a game and have a great time, because it's a super fun, crazy build. Blastoise. Blastoise is great. Super fun Pokemon to play. Blastoise's Unite is nuts. Blastoise's Surf is nuts. Blastoise's Hydro Pump is nuts. So the control you get from the Surf Hydro Pump build is insane. And you can keep yourself alive or keep enemies zoned out of a situation for so long. We've all been in those situations where we're like, oh, this Blastoise is just pushing me around. I can't do anything. Blastoise is such a fun Pokemon to play. Its Unite's incredible. And then its Rapid Spin build is just, it's a blast too, because you're unstoppable. You're kind of running around. Enemies have to worry about you. You're good at stealing objectives. They've made everything on Blastoise's kit a little weaker, but they didn't make Blastoise any less fun to play. It's a super fun Pokemon to play. Super fun. Let's see. Who do I want to go with next? I'm going to do Crustal. Crustal used to be an S tier Pokemon for me, and I think it's probably still A tier, but it might hover into B. And the reason is because it's just weaker for no reason. It's kind of frustrating. Scoring getting nerfed and Crustal's critical hits getting nerfed. It's just kind of a 1-2 combo of making this Pokemon not as viable, but it's still super fun to play. You run around the entire map, you steal objectives. It's just a little less exciting now. I think I'll put it A still, because I'm not gonna lie, it's great. The speed you have with this Pokemon, it's really fun. Crustal's really fun, and its Unite. Its Unite's just mean. The amount of shield and health you get from this Unite is just crazy, and I think people don't always realize how much damage you're gonna do just running next to somebody. I think I'm gonna keep it the A tier. I think most things are gonna hang out in the A tier, honestly. I think they are. Okay. Let's see. Mamo Swine. Mamo Swine went from a B to an A recently. I think the buffs to Mamo Swine are very, very important. It would have been a B or maybe even a C at times, because Mamo taking so long to evolve, not getting to use its Unite being kind of underwhelming. To be honest, that's the thing that I have the biggest problem with Mamo Swine, is its Unite is just super underwhelming. Besides that, I think Mamo Swine is a ton of fun to play. Ice Fang is one of the meanest moves in the entire game. I'm not saying it's the most viable, but playing Ice Fang is just so satisfying when you grab someone and throw them behind you to your team. Just even the motion of it, that like, and it is very good. Mamo Swine is very good. Very, very fun. Let's see. Where's my next defender here? Let's do Slowbro. Slowbro, for me, has always been super fun to play. I love Telekinesis. I love its Unite move. I love Surf. Scald is a move. And the buffs to Slowbro haven't made it any more fun, but I've always thought Slowbro was super fun to play. Super fun. The only issue you'll have, if your team's doing really poorly, I think Slowbro drops down quite a few notches, because it's a hard Pokemon to solo. But I really like playing it. I really like Surf, and I really like Telekinesis. I think they're so fun. Just like Ice Fang, just grabbing an enemy and holding them in the air as long as you can until the last second you pull them towards you. I mean, woo, what a move. Snorlax is an interesting one. I think it might be my only defender that I'm going to put in the B tier. I really love Snorlax early, and I think Snorlax is so good, but I actually am having less fun playing Snorlax than I am playing the other defenders. And I think probably the biggest reason is it might be It and Slowbro are both incredibly team dependent. I think that's the biggest thing. So if your team is really rough and you're trying to play Snorlax, you're trying to set up blocks and heavy slams, it's just not going to work that well. And then if you're playing the Flail build, I think that build is kind of more fun, but also just kind of more detrimental to your team. I think Snorlax is in the B tier. Still got a B tier. Okay, let's see. Heading over to, we've got attackers, we've got all-rounders, and we have supports. Let's do all-rounders. All-rounders are all pretty fun Pokemon, aren't they? Let me see. I want to try to get some delineation in here. What all-rounder is the most fun to play? Okay. I think the most fun all-rounder to play, gosh, there are a lot of them are really fun. It might be Zarina. Might be. It might be Zarina. Zarina is a super fun Pokemon to play. Once you get the hang of its combos, whether you're using Stomp or Triple Axel, I'm not going to lie, I think Stomp is amazingly fun. I'm not saying it's better necessarily because I think the healing on Triple Axel's nutty, but Stomp is so freaking fun. I love playing Stomp Zarina. It's honestly, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking I really just want to hop into a game with Stomp Arena right now. It's so good. When you get all three of them, like boom, 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 all the stomps on the enemy, it's just, oh, so satisfying. So I think I'll put it in the Supes Fun category. All these all-rounders, though, are really fun to play. Charizard, really fun. Once you get Char's Unite, it's just, I mean, what a Unite. It's like one of the best things in the game, using Char's Unite and just burning down an entire enemy team. You're like, you are a dragon and you're lighting the whole village on fire. Char is super fun to play. I will say the only thing that could tilt Char into the B tier is its early game. Its early game is not that fun, but once you become Char, it's extremely fun. I think I'm gonna keep it A. I think so. It teeters into B for me. It does. Garchomp, so fun. Here's the thing about Garchomp. Garchomp is not good. Garchomp has a lot of problems. I recognize there's some really good players out there that are good with Garchomp. That being said, Garchomp is not good. Garchomp is very fun. Garchomp is so fun once you get past that early phase. As long as you don't get locked down in that early phase and people just kind of bully you the whole time, Garchomp is a freaking blast. I really like playing Garchomp, and that's actually one of the things that's so disappointing about Garchomp is it's super fun to play. It's just not super viable. Okay, let's see. Dragonite. Dragonite, I think is, here's the thing about Dragonite. I think Dragonite is actually probably B tier in its fun as soon as it gets nerfed. Once it's sorry, microphone. Once its Buddy Barrier gets nerfed, and once its Hyper Beam gets nerfed, or Dragon Dance, however they kind of nerf this Pokemon, I think it might be less fun. But right now, using a Hyper Beam and just melting 3 people on the enemy team, using a Unite move every 30 seconds and giving Buddy Barriers around, it doesn't rise into the S tier for me because it just kind of feels mean. It's just too exploitative right now. Boy, I said that word exploitative. But I think it's really fun to play. I think it might drop down a little bit once it's not so overpowered. But then again, I think Extreme Speed Outrage is actually crazy fun. So maybe it just hangs out in the A tier. I would love it if the only Pokemon in B tier is Snorlax this whole time. Let's see. Okay, all-rounders. Lucario. Lucario has been better, but Lucario is amazing. I love playing Lucario. I like Power Up Punch Lucario. Close Combat I think is super fun. I don't think that's the best build at all, but I have so much fun. When I stack that attack weight and I use Close Combat and I use Power Up Punch and you just see things turn into dust as Lucario. The mobility, it's amazing. Lucario is so fun. The only thing I think keeping it out of the Supes Fun category is it's probably that it gets kind of for a long time it was just so overpowered that I think it was kind of like, ugh, you're really playing Lucario. And then I think the other thing that maybe keeps it out of Supes Fun is they've made scoring a little worse, and Lucario is really heavily reliant on all that scoring. So still incredibly fun Pokemon to play. All right, is that, oh no, Machamp. Machamp might be B. Then again, when you hit that Unite with Machamp, is there a more satisfying... this is a good question. Is there a more satisfying Unite to nail than nailing Machamps on a group of enemies? Is there any Unite more satisfying? Blastoise is really satisfying when you get a full team knocked up. I think it might have the most satisfying Unite in the game. Maybe Char too, just because you turn into Superman for a minute. You know how Superman burns everything down. I think this might be the only B tier all-rounder for me. I think it still needs a little bit of a buff. I hope it gets a buff with this upcoming balance patch, because I do like playing it. I feel a little underpowered most of the time. Then again, that Unite. Yeah, I think this is where I'll keep it. I think it's in the B tier. Still got a B tier. Okay, let's do supporters. We'll start with Blissy. Blissy, it's weird. Early game, I think Blissy is A tier for me. And then later game, I think Blissy's B tier. I actually have a lot of fun playing Blissy. This might be A. Blissy might be A. It might be B. I think I'm going to put Blissy B. I don't even know if that's true. I don't know. Someone might need to arrest me for that one. I think Blissy's really fun to play. You know what? I'm putting it A. Changed my mind. Haha. Can't do anything about it. It's my video. I think Blissy's super fun to play. I think the only issue is, of course, with anything that's team reliant, it's kind of frustrating. But even if you're just running around trying to keep your whole team alive, I have a lot of fun with that play style. All right. Eldegoss. Eldegoss is... I think Eldegoss is actually B tier. That's weird. I really like... Okay. So how do I... Here's where my brain is at. I like playing Eldegoss, but I think my fun spikes... Okay. Well, and this is a new term. I think my fun spikes are a lot less often with Eldegoss. But if I'm being honest, I mean, I could put Blissy down here too for the same reason. Maybe I do. You know what? I'm doing it. Blissy's coming down to B. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. Blissy's coming down to B with Eldegoss. Both fun Pokemon to play. Everyone in B is fun to play. But I feel like they're a little more methodical maybe than the others. Yeah. I mean, because we're talking about Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime it's AS. It's either A or S. Both incredibly fun Pokemon to play. I mean, Mime... Does Mime make it into the S tier? Oof. When you land a barrier confusion or a guard swap confusion, when you push multiple enemies into a wall... When you push multiple enemies into a wall with Mr. Mime, that's an A tier. I think it's A tier. It's going to stay in the Attaboy, these are fun tier. I do think so. It's almost S. It's almost S, but I have to give it up to the king, Wiggly. Wiggly's so fun. Ridiculously fun. Sleep is fun. Double Slap is fun. Dazzling Gleam is fun. Rollout is the most insane move in the entire game. Its Unite is just amazing for your entire team. Wiggly is top tier Pokemon, top tier fun. I love Wiggly. I want Wiggly to be my best man at my wedding, but he said he doesn't want to do a whole speech. And I'm like, you don't have to do a big speech. Just speak from the heart. He said he won't do it. I really like Wiggly. Wiggly is S tier fun for me. On to the attackers. Okay, let's see. A lot of these attackers are great to play. Let's start with who might make it into the S tier from the attackers. All right, I'll just head down the list. I think Cinderace is A tier. Used to be B tier, I would say. Still got a B tier, but Cinderace is now A tier, I think, because of how good Pyro Ball is and how fun it is playing the Blaze Kick build. So Pyro Ball becoming so good has made it just so satisfying when you hit multiple enemies with that massive amount of damage. And just the outplay potential from Blaze Kick, the way you can lock onto someone and reposition yourself is just so good. That particular build might be one of the biggest fun increases that a patch has had, period. It's just so much more fun. Cram. Cram is B. I love Cram, although Dive Cram's A. Dive Cram's A, regular Cram is now B. The thing about playing Cram is you just feel a little underpowered, which is kind of frustrating. However, I'll say Dive Cram here, regular Cram actually near the low end of B. So I think it hangs out comfortably in the B tier. I think it needs a little bit of a buff because once it feels a little more powerful, then I think it starts to feel a little more fun when you're making some of those moves. Gardevoir has gone from could be funner up into the A tier in my opinion. I think Gardevoir is so fun to play. Now that you get your moves at a reasonable time, you're just doing so much damage. It's a treat. It's really a treat to play Gardevoir right now. I think it's definitely a tier Pokemon. It doesn't make it into S for me because you still don't have a lot of mobility, and I do like Pokemon that have a lot of mobility, but I think it's super fun, especially now that it power spikes early. Before it was kind of fun, but you just always felt super weak, I guess. Greninja. Where do I put Greninja? You know, this list is my personal list, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree here, but for me, Greninja is B tier. It is not my favorite Pokemon to play. I do like it, but it's not my favorite, honestly. I think it's a little too squishy. I don't love a lot of Greninja. I thought I would love more of Greninja, but honestly, it just doesn't scratch that itch for me. I think it's good. I think Water Shuriken is incredibly fun. I think its Unite is really cool, but it's just not my favorite playstyle, honestly. So I think that sort of 80 carry, but then also in their face playstyle for me is just not my favorite playstyle. Ninetales. Ninetales went from fun to then not fun at all, back to fun. I think Ninetales is A tier fun. And I think what it is I feel like it's a game within the game how many times I can catch the enemy with the wall and blizzard. How many times can I avalanche blizzard? Like how many of those perfect catches can I make inside of a game? And I have a lot of fun with that. Another Pokemon that I think I have equally the same amount of fun with for the same reason as Pikachu. How many Thunderbolt Thunders can I catch someone in? How many can I get? Electro Ball also is a really fun time, and its Unite, super satisfying, and it recharges very quickly. I wish it was a little stronger, but I get what they're going for with Pikachu's Unite. So I think Pikachu and Ninetales, for me, they both kind of hang out in this category where it's like, this is really fun to catch someone in these moves because you just see their health drain away. You feel so useful when you catch one of these moves. Crashy Soup's fun, but Crashy's not part of this list, so now Crashy could be funner. Take that, Crashy. Let's see. Sylveon. Sylveon is a Pokemon for me that was in the A tier, but now recently I'd say it's probably B for me. I like playing Sylveon. I like playing everyone in the B tier. Because we still got the beats here. But I think the issue for me with Sylveon is they nerfed it. I think a slight over nerf, but it was still really, really good. And then they keep releasing these Pokemon like Serena and Dragonite where they're kind of out maneuvering what you can do with Hyper Voice Sylveon. So you play Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire is fun, but overall is just an overall Pokemon. I think it could be a little more exciting to play Sylveon. Then again, it's kind of one of the main Pokemon I play. So maybe I'm just a little burnt out on it, which is why it's in the B tier rather than it actually being a B tier choice. Venusaur. It's weird because my brain goes, Soup's fun, honestly. Like, I think Solar Beam's amazingly fun. And when you're on a roll with Petal Drain Giga Dance, it's so fun. But I also maybe feel a little burnout with it. I think I'm going to put it into the A tier. I think it's a really fun Pokemon to play. But it just doesn't make it to the highs of S tier for me. I'm not super excited thinking about it. Maybe it's just because I've played with Venusaur for so long that it makes its way here. Decidueye. Decidueye. My favorite build with it is Spirit Shackle. I don't like its Unite. This is possibly the only C tier choice for me is Decidueye. But I don't know if that's even fair. because I do have fun playing it, especially Spirit Shackle. I wish it had more mobility, but when you're shredding people with Razor Leaf, it's, yeah, oops, sorry, microphone, I'm so sorry, buddy. I am gonna put it in B tier, honestly, because I would be lying in saying I have so little fun with Decidueye. Then it is the could be funner tier. I think I should put more things in the could be funner tier, but this is something I've said about Unite a lot. It's that I think this game is incredibly fun, even when a Pokemon is not that good. Like Gengar, I think it's incredibly fun to play it. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. What Pokemon should be in the could be funner tier, and what Pokemon did I get wrong with the Soups fun tier? There's nothing more fun than blocking someone with Snorlax. There isn't. So with Snorlax, you can block them. With Ninetales, you put up a big icy wall. With Mamo Swine, you literally pick them up and move them around. And then Blissy is the medic from any game. If you're the kind of person who likes to play a medic, it's top tier fun. Obviously, we all know that Decidueye and Garchomp, they need a lot of help to be more fun. Same as a Pokemon like Talonflame, Gengar. None of these Pokemon are that fun. They're just really not. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I love you all, and I'll see you all next time.